Hello all, I hope you've had a lovely week. It is a Friday today, so it's the weekend tomorrow, so this is our final lesson this week. And don't forget to do your online homeworks for the week as well. They will be the ones on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday will be disappearing after today. This Friday one will stay over the weekend just in case you haven't had a chance to do it, but you should really be doing it just after the lesson. So today we're looking at comparing time. So I'm opening the lesson. Remember, you can open the lesson and do it alongside me, or you can do it straight after and then afterwards log into the portal and do your homework, which you definitely need to do. Okay, so we're looking first at units of time. Now, we've got seconds here as 1 unit of time. I'm going to give you just 10 seconds to see if you can name any other units of time. Okay, so I give you 10 seconds there, as you can see. There are 60 seconds in 1 minute. So if you said minute is a unit of time, well done. There are 60 minutes in 1 hour. So well done if you said hours. There are 24 hours in 1 day. Well done if you said day. There are 7 days in 1 week. So well done if you said a week as a unit of time. There are around 4 weeks in 1 month. Now I'm saying around 4 weeks because remember months have different days. Okay, so for example, February that has 28 or 29 days, whereas other months have 30 or 31 days. So you can't just say it's 4 weeks every time because it's not, but around 4 weeks. And then we have years, and there are 12 months in a year. I'm sure you can all name the days of the week and the months of the year. So those are our main units of time. There are others, but these are the main units of time that we use in this country. Other countries might have different units of time. So as you can see, the ones in the middle are the shortest, seconds is the shortest, and years is the longest. And there's a very big difference between 1 second and 1 year within length of time. So, second is a really short amount of time, and it takes about the time to say your full name. So, or to click your fingers. So if I click my fingers, I'm not sure if you can hear that, but I hope I'm clicking my fingers. That's about a second. Or if I say Miss Miletto, Miss Miletto, Miss Miletto, that would be around a second each time I said it. Or to jump up in the air and down once. Maybe you can try that later in your P lesson or something. So a minute's obviously longer than a second, and roughly the time it takes to hop up and down 60 times, because 1 hop would be 1 second. So if you did it 60 times, it would be around 1 minute. Or say the word banana 60 times. Now, if you said banana, banana, banana really fast, then obviously it's not going to be a minute, but you could say it 60 times and it would be a second for each one. An hour is much longer than a minute. Our lessons are around 1 hour time. For example, our literacy lessons usually from 11:20 to 12:20. And our lunchtime is actually, you're very lucky, you have a little bit longer for lunch or you have a little bit shorter than lunch than 1 hour. You have 55 minutes usually. Or time it takes to walk 5 kilometers. Walking 5 kilometers. So maybe if you go for an hour walk in your exercise outside time, then you could say, oh, I've probably walked around 5 kilometers. Days are obviously longer than hours. Amount of time from one sunrise to the next. So obviously the sun comes up, it goes down, it's night, and then when it comes up again, that's 1 day. And a week's longer than a day. So 7 days, obviously. On a Monday, you come into school, and then after the weekend, you come in again on Monday. Obviously not on the moment, but you're doing your online work on Monday as well. And the first lesson that I said for maths was on a Monday as well. A month's longer than a week. As I said, the shortest month has 28 days, which would be, for example, February. And the longest month has 31 days, for example, July. July. So a year is a longer time than a month, and we all know that there is 12 months in a year. For example, one birthday to your next birthday. You can see this girl here is turning from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This girl's turned from 6 to 7, and it's taken her a whole year to grow that much. So here we can see what I've just talked through. These are the amounts of times that are in each one. Okay, those are really important. You should know them. I think you will all, this will just be revision for you all. You'll all know this. So, order the units of time from shortest length to the longest. Remember, this is something that I want you to be doing on your lesson as well. If you're not doing it now and you want to watch the video first, I'm about to put in the answers. Okay, so second would be the shortest. And then minute would be the next. Then hour. Then day. Week. Month. Year. Very easy. Should be very, very easy for you all. Order the times from the shortest to the longest. So we've got 9 in front of all of these, but it's exactly the same. Because we know 9 seconds isn't going to be longer than 9 weeks. Okay, just because we've got numbers here doesn't mean that it makes any difference really. So 9 seconds would obviously be the shortest, then 9 minutes, then 9 days, and then 9 weeks. And if we look at these, longest to shortest. Now remember here, you need to read the questions very carefully because I very nearly went from shortest to longest then, and luckily I just saw that it was longest to shortest. So I can see that the years are going to be longest. We've got months, years, weeks and hours. 5 years is the longest, then 5 months, and then 5 weeks, and then 5 hours. Well done when you did that yourself as well. So, a clock tells us what time of day it is. What time does this clock show? Shout it out to your screen, shout it out to the video, tell your friend who's next to you, your family. 1 o'clock, obviously, because the minute hand's on the O clock, the 12, and the hour hand is on the 1. So, in 1 hour, you can see the minute hand's going all around the clock. In 1 hour, when it's gone all the way around the clock, and this hour hand is traveling between the 1 and the 2. When it gets to the 2, and when the minute hand gets to the 12, it will be 2 o'clock. So 1 hour will have passed. So you could say 2 o'clock is 1 hour later than 1 o'clock, or you could say that 1 o'clock is 1 hour earlier than 2 o'clock. So in 1 more hour, it will be 3 o'clock because it will go from the 2 to the 3, but the o'clock will stay the same. So you could say 2 o'clock is 1 hour earlier. I'm going to skip this bit because it takes a little while. Okay, 3 o'clock is 1 hour later than 2 o'clock. Or 2 o'clock is 1 hour earlier than 3 o'clock. Sorry, I said that wrong way around a minute ago. Not very clever of me. And 4 o'clock would be 1 hour later than 3 o'clock. And 5 o'clock, 1 hour later than 4 o'clock. And so on and so on and so on. So we can put the clock times in order from earlier to later. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. And you can see that we're counting on the hours on this side. 1 hour later, 1 hour later, 1 hour later, and we're counting backwards the hours on this side, 1 hour earlier, 1 hour earlier, 1 hour earlier. So let's have a look at this time. We're looking between the 2 and the 3. It's not on 2 o'clock, it's not on 3 o'clock. If we look at our minute hand, it is on the 6, which shows it's half past. It's between the 2 and the 3, so it is the half past 2. Half past 2. I hope you all said that or shout it out to the lesson. In 1 hour time, you can see it's going all the way around. It's not going to stop at the 12 this time, because that would just be 3 o'clock. That would only be half an hour past. And we're not looking at half an hour passing, we're looking at a whole hour passing. So even though that's 3 o'clock, and last time we were stopping at the o'clock, it's carrying on all the way around to 3:30 or 3:30. Does that mean that it will be a difference more than an hour or less than an hour? No. The difference between 2:30 and 3:30 will still be an hour. 3:30 is still 1 hour later than 2:30, and 2:30 is 1 hour earlier than 3:30. So, what will the time be in 1 hour? If we went from 2:30 to 3:30, in another hour it will be, tell me, shout out to the screen. I hope you all shouted 4:30. 4:30 is 1 hour later than 3:30, and 3:30 is 1 hour earlier than 4:30. We use words earlier and later to compare any clock time. So here we've gone from 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock, and you can count on 1, 2, 3. If you look at the hour hand, it's gone from 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5. It's changed 3 hours. 5 o'clock is 3 hours later than 2 o'clock. Or the other way around, if you go backwards on the clock, which we don't do very often, clocks never go backwards. Go anti-clockwise. It goes from the 5 to the 4, 4 to the 3, 3 to the 2, and 3 hours early will be 2 o'clock. We know we can't reverse time there. So this one is the same. It's not 3 hours later. It's only 2 hours later. It's gone from the 5 o'clock to the 6 o'clock to the 7 o'clock. It's 2 hours. It's gone 2 hours. Or if we're going backwards in time travel backwards 2 hours, then we've gone from 7 o'clock to 5 o'clock. And here we've moved 4 hours. You can see it's gone from the hour hand's gone from the 7 to the 8, 8 to the 9, 9 to the 10, 10 to the 11. It's moved 4 hours in time, but the minute hand has stayed the same in all of them. So, order the times on the clocks from earliest to latest. So here I don't have to look at the minute hand. It's at the 12 for each one. I will only be looking at the hour hand. And I'll be looking at the numbers, and it's simple because it's just the smallest number to the biggest number. So have a go on your screens if you want to pause the video, or you can try it after I've shown you the answers after the video. So we've got that hour hand pointing to an 8, a 9, a 10, and 11. So obviously the earliest one's going to be 8 o'clock, and then it will change an hour forward to 9 o'clock. Then it's gone an hour later to 10 o'clock, and an hour later to 11 o'clock. So here we can see the time is 5 o'clock. In half an hour's time, it will be 5:30. So tell me, true or false, that is more than an hour's time. False. It's half an hour. It's 30 minutes. We know 60 minutes is an hour. It's moved forward 30 minutes. So 5:30, half an hour later, you can see the minute hand's just gone from the 12 to the 6. The hour hand has just moved from the 5 to halfway between the 5 and the 6. Half an hour later than 5 o'clock, it's 5:30. 5 o'clock is half an hour earlier than 5:30. So if it's 5:30 now, what time will it be in half an hour? Tell the video now, or tell your parent, or just shout it out to the world. I'm hoping you all said 6 o'clock, because we know it's travelled half to 5:30. If we go another half an hour, it'll be another half of the clock. It'll be back up at the 12, but obviously it's not going to go back to 5 o'clock. It's going to have moved forward to the 6th hour hand to 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock is half an hour later than 5:30. 5:05 is half an hour earlier than 6 o'clock. So let's have a look at these clocks. You can see that we've travelled half an hour later to 5:30 and half an hour later to 6 o'clock. Now, from 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock is how long? I'm hoping you said an hour, so we know actually if we did a big arrow from the 5 to the 6, we would have 1 hour. Because if we've gone half an hour and a half is one whole. And you can do it backwards in time as well, earlier. So here we can see that we've gone a whole hour from 6:30 to 7:30. But if we wanted to split it into two, half an hour and half an hour, what time would be in the middle? Shout it out. 6:30, gone all the way around to 7:30. If we went halfway around, our minute hand would be on the 12 and our hour hand would be on the 7. So I'm hoping you all said 7 o'clock. So you can see here that the times are different in these, but always if it's moving forward in time, we're saying it's after, backwards in time, before. Okay, so 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock. We can either say that 3 o'clock is 1 hour after 2 o'clock, or we can say that 2 o'clock is 1 hour before 3 o'clock. And here we've only travelled half an hour. We've only had half an hour. So be careful because you don't want to put an hour. Half an hour after 3 o'clock is 3:30. And half an hour before 3:30 would be 3 o'clock. And here we have 3:30. And we've gone a whole 2 hours this time. So it would be 5:30. 2 hours before 5:30 would have been 3:30. So, going to have a look at ordering these clocks. Remember, you can pause it and do it on your own, or you can watch the video and then do it afterwards. I'm looking first at the hour hand. I know that there's differences in the minute hand, but I can't use that until I've looked at the hour hand. So I can see this hour hand is on 3, this hour hand's between 4 and 5, this hour hand is on 6, and this hour hand is between 3 and 4. So the one where the hour hand is the earliest is this one because it's on 3. So 3 o'clock must be the earliest. Now I can see this one, it's only moved halfway between 3 and 4. The minute hand I can see has gone from the 12 to the 6. So this one shows it's 3:30, half an hour later than 3 o'clock. And then I'm looking at these two. I can see this one, nice and easy, it's 6 o'clock. This one's a little bit tricky. It's 4:30 because it's between the 4 and the 5, and we can see the minute hand is on the 6. So 4:30 obviously comes before 6 o'clock. And if you're very clever, you'll be able to work out how much time has passed between 4:30 and 6 o'clock. If we looked at it, then if it moved half an hour, it would be 5 o'clock. And then 1 more hour and it would be 6 o'clock. So between 4:30, 4:30 and 6 would be 1.5 hours. 6 o'clock would be 1.5 hours later than 4:30. So, which is longer, 1 hour or 55 minutes? I'm hoping you all said 1 hour would be longer, sorry. 1 hour, because how many minutes are in an hour? Shout it out. 60. 60 minutes, and 55 is a smaller number than 60. So, 60 minutes is longer than 55 minutes. So 1 hour is longer than 55 minutes. Which is shorter, 1 week or 8 days? Shout out how many days are in a week? 7. So 1 week would be shorter than 8 days. 1 year or 11 months, which is longer? Count how many months in 1 year. You should all know how many months are in 1 year. Shout it out and shout out which one's longer. There are 12 months in 1 year, and therefore 1 year is 12 months or 11 months. Obviously, 12 months is longer than 11 months. So 1 year is longer than 11 months. So, which time is longer? Click on the correct answer. Remember, you can do this yourself. You can pause it and go do it yourself, or you can do it afterwards. Which is longer, 1 week or 6 days? I know that 1 week is 7 days, so I know that one must be longer. 1 year or 14 months? I know 1 year is 12 months, so that one must be longer, 14 months. 1 day or 22 hours? I know there are 24 hours in 1 day, so that's longer. So, well done for today's work. Oh, this is a different one. We'll go through these ones as well. 1 day or 26 hours? I know 1 day is 24 hours. Oh, I'm looking at the question very carefully because it says which time is shorter. 24 or 26? It would be 1 day, 24. 1 hour or 62 minutes? Now I know there's 60 minutes in an hour. So 62 minutes is just over an hour. So 1 hour must be the shortest. 1 week or 10 days? There are 7 days in a week. So 1 week must be shorter than 10 days. Jake went on holiday for 6 days. Caleb went on holiday for 1 week. Who went on holiday for the longer time? We were looking for who went for longer days. Caleb went for 1 week, which is 7 days, versus 6 days. So Caleb went on holiday for longer. Samira's journey took 26 hours. That's a long time in the car, isn't it? Or maybe it was a plane. Danny's journey took 1 day. So you know that Danny's journey took 22 hours, 24 hours even. I'm making a lot of mistakes today. 24 hours. Samira's journey took 26 hours. So which journey took the shorter time? Danny's. 2 hours shorter. Okay, well done for today's work. Well done for completing all your lessons this week. And I hope you completed all your homework this week. I hope you have a really, really nice restful weekend. And we will catch up on Monday.